Today, I want to talk about another local brand, Kontoor Brands. And in particular, they have this multi-year initiative, Catalyze Growth. The goal is to increase sales, improve margins. The interesting thing about their strategy, Kontoor Brands has Wrangler and Lee among their core properties that make up most of their revenue, is that they make most of their money through wholesale sales. And in particular, Walmart, selling jeans through Walmart, accounts for 30% of their overall revenue. So there's both a big opportunity here, sell more e-commerce, sell more direct to consumer, but also a big risk with this current approach. In Q3 last year, they had a decline in year over year revenue and a huge increase in inventory because Walmart simply pumped the brakes on some of their orders. They didn't cancel. It wasn't like they've replaced Wrangler jeans with their own private label. They have it, but they weren't selling enough of their own stuff. So they said, hold on, just don't ship that stuff yet, which hurts sales and increases inventory. So here's some ideas because, again, there's a lot they could do, but I just want to share some basic thoughts on how you might get started before jumping into the more fun, exciting, maybe deep learning applications. That would be my more of my interest. So if we're looking at just the Wrangler.com property, there'll be a number of customer propensity models that they have in place, whether or not those involve any ML. And in particular, a few that might be very important for them would be stuff like promotion effectiveness, because they're spending a lot of money on the Yellowstone show to co-market with them. Customer lifetime value, of course, because that's going to dictate ad spend and a lot of other things. Likelihood to recommend, upsell, cross-sell. Cross-sell is really important because they're introducing, as part of this pillar, a new t-shirt brand or series of t-shirt brands. So they want to make sure that they're supporting those and growing. And then finally, pricing optimization will be a key model for them, or must be, because they can't cannibalize existing wholesale growth. That's the core business. They want to grow this, but not cannibalize the existing stuff. So if I'm on the analytics side, before I jump in and do the Clueless style, let's send in Clueless, the Alicia Silverstone movie, let's send the promotion to grandma and grandpa with the clothing directly on the kids with the right size, so they can just buy the full set, which I would love because my parents are always messaging me like, what size are the kids now? Before they do that, it would be very, very useful, I think, to figure out how quickly they can integrate external data into their current sets of customer propensity models and other core models. Why do I say that? Well, what we've found is, one, with an operation this size, it tends to be that when you have order data, all that omni-channel marketing data, as well as inventory. They have 10 factories in Mexico. They've got all the supply chain inventory data. The analysts are often really swamped just joining and doing reports on internal data. They're often really not looking at external data sets. And when you do one of these fun ML projects, which hopefully you will, what you'll often find is, as you're tweaking the model, you're like, oh my gosh, if we could just get this other data set, which is probably available for a reasonable fee, we would really improve the lift of this model. When you get to that point, if you don't have the muscle built up to actually integrate data sets, figure out their signal, that will really slow you down. And in this initiative, they got like 9 to 12 more months to really get this thing humming. You just don't have the time. So my focus might be internally just how quickly can we integrate existing or external, not existing, new data sets into our current models. What would that look like? Is there lift there? And if there is, if it shows some signal, just insight, not a prescriptive analytic, not something that tells us that's even predictive, but just if there's insight, that's really going to help as you start to build out some of these new models in the coming year that are going to drive revenue and help margins. Hope you found this useful.